folks, today we're going to show you how to make your own pin loom out of brad knit wires and MDF. So you can make some woven shapes like squares and rectangles out of yarn in order to weave cool projects like this hammerhead shark. That's made out of squares and rectangles. Or this cool blanket, flower blanket, with also made out of mostly squares and rectangles and some triangles. Or this cool shark attack gnome. He's made of some squares and rectangles as well. We're using this in order to make a pin loom. These are manufactured pin looms, which are really fun and easy to use, but they can be hard to find or maybe a little expensive. So we're going to make our own. Here are the supplies you're going to need. We use a jigsaw, a sander, a drill with a 1/2-inch bit, some safety glasses, some wire brads. Right here we use number 18 at 3/4 inch. A hammer and a pencil, scissors, glue, the template available at yarnnovations.com, and a little piece of MDF. I went ahead and cut out the template and traced it on the MDF. We're going to put drill a hole in the center, jig out the center, and then jig off the whole side. And I'm going to cut on the inside, keeping the line because the pins are kind of close to it. Here's my 10-year-old. He's going to drill the hole for us. After you get it cut out, then you just start sanding. I've sanded this down. Sometimes I use a Dremel afterward to really make these nice and clean. Anywhere that's kind of got a burr can catch the yarn potentially. I also like the edges rounded so when I'm weaving it doesn't catch on a corner. So I'm going to take my template and I'm going to glue it on. I'm not using a ton of glue, just a little bit, just enough to make it stick and to offer me a guide for where I'm going to put the nails. These dots are about an 1/8 inch apart, and that's really important not to get them too close, especially the ones in the 3 grouping or the 4 grouping, because your weaving needle is going to pass between them. So as much as possible, try to keep a good gap between those. The area where there's the space, you don't have to worry about the gap as much. You can nail in directly to here on each one of these dots, or if you'd like, you can pre-drill the holes. So we're going to pre-drill just a couple. The first thing we did was roll down the drill bit to see, we didn't want to go all the way through the wood, so the bit doesn't go all the way through. The bit that we're using is a 1.2 millimeter, which was found in a micro set that we got at Harbor Freight. So first we like to line it up, and then we turn it on and drill that hole. We turn the drill off each time because we want a precise drill spot. It's a little bit slower that way, but I feel like we have more control of where each hole is going to be. So you can see that we have 2 holes drilled here, and my son's going to show you how to nail them in. Try to be as careful as possible to keep them straight up and down. Pre-drilling helps the nail to go in straight. We've done it without pre-drilling, and you're going to have to kind of straighten some nails as you go. You're going to keep going until you do all the nails. All right, my son finished nailing this pre-drilled square. Looks really great. Then I'm going to warp it up so that I can weave it. This pin loom has a 3-pin configuration. So it'll have 3 layers of warp and 1 layer that's woven. I'm going to put my needle on it. And I hold on to the tails. And then you just weave over, under, over, under. Because this is made with brad wires, I can kind of pull somewhat firmly on it and not worry about the little nails coming out. If you want to know how to weave on a pin loom, there are videos that you can find. This is a 2-inch square, so it weaves a lot like a 4-inch square. And the 4-inch square is got a lot of videos on it. Shacked Spindle sells a 4-inch square loom, pin loom, and they show you how to weave on it. So warping and weaving on this 2-inch is just the same. It's just not as many rows. So as you can see, we use these small brads, and there's enough space that I can get my needle in between them. So using the drill press really did help. On the last row, I like to push the yarn down. It gives me more space, and it's easier to see. I've woven the last row. Then I like to take my needle and push up the square to the nail heads. Then I gently try to lift them up off the heads. After it's up a little bit, I prefer using my hand to kind of give some kind of manipulate the square to pull it off. There you go. We have made a 2-inch square from our homemade pin loom.